Welcome everyone. Today we're going to be revealing the Versus Tournament bracket, as well as breaking down the matchups. The winner of this tournament is taking home 2 legendary chests and 1200 gems. That's a good chunk of change. Second place wins a legendary and an epic chest along with 500 gems. And third will be earning an epic and a rare chest. Now before we begin, I actually have a special guest here with me by the name of PeeDangg. I have to ask you, buddy, is that second G silent?
You gotta actually say it out, Giga. No, I'm kidding. It is silent, but you know, as a gamer, we always say GG a lot. So I'm making the name. I thought I'd put GG at the end.
Oh my god, I feel like such an idiot. I never even realized that was GG at the end. It's a good one. It's a good one. All right. So for those of you who aren't familiar with PeeDangg, he's consistently been a top 5 player in the world. For the past little while, he's even hit the elusive #1 spot actually, halfway through the season. So this man knows a thing or two about Puzzle Fighter. So to kind of start things off, we'll start off by revealing the left side of the bracket. On our first matchup, we have Tricky Kid versus BTONG. How do you feel about that matchup, Mr. PeeDangg?
We know that BTONG is a Phoenix right main as of late. He's very fond of the character, which gives him a slight edge over Tricky Kid if the matchup goes without a lot of crash orbs. Tricky Kid is, you know, a known Joe player. Joe players, he's at the level where if he has enough crash orbs, he can take down anyone. It doesn't matter how many rating points they have. Given enough crash orbs, Tricky Kid can set it up and just demolish his opponent. So definitely gonna be a stomp one way or the other, depending on how many crash orbs come out.
Yeah, I kind of have the same feeling with that matchup, but Tricky Kid is a very, very talented chainer. But BTONG is also a really good Phoenix Right player, so it's a little bit of a toss-up there, I think. I think it might go the distance, actually. I think like in certain matches, certain rounds, it might stomp either way, but I think overall, I think that might be a tight matchup. And as for yourself and Pinkas, how do you think you're going to do against him?
I'm confident, even as he is a Joe main, and it's very hard to win if they get a lot of crash orbs. I'm confident that I can pull it off and proceed to the next round.
Are you going to give us any
Pink,
spoilers?
I see he's been practicing.
Are you going to give us any spoilers here? Or are you going to be Phoenix Right as well, or what?
No, I was actually thinking about starting off with Phoenix and then switching to Dan if I have to. But yeah, we'll see how that turns out. I see that Pink has been testing the waters with Jill though, so the only thing he's gonna play here.
That'd be interesting.
So we gotta be careful of that.
Yeah. And I'll be releasing the Player 171 versus Tafel really soon, where it's Jill versus Jill, so you might get some ideas off of that as well.
Oh yeah, he will. Tafel and 171 are known to kind of chain their power gems to get that 30% increase on the timer gem drops, and they're very good at that. So Pinkas might actually learn a thing or two in his for his Joe game there.
Yeah, it was an insane video, but you guys will see it soon. And as for Atney and the BTONG, yes, that's it.
The THEBEARDREW. Yeah, Atney and the BTONG, these are they're very fond of Blanca and Hagar, so we might just see kind of a Hagar mirror match, because if one starts out with Blanca, they might lose to the Hagar. Hagar has a slight advantage over Blanca, so they're gonna both be forced to play Hagar, and when that happens, man, steel pipes bouncing off of each other's heads. It's gonna be something.
Yeah, Team Green, huh? Yeah, they're both really exceptional players. Like Atney's actually been around since soft launch. I've had a lot of experience playing against him.
He's one of the OGs,
yep,
definitely.
Yep. He's a really good, very talented player, and I've had a lot of really good matches with the THEBEARDREW as well. So honestly, between the two, I wouldn't even know who to pick. I think it's really a toss-up. I'd say it's 50-50 either way.
I wouldn't want to be in a position to pick either. It's so hard to even make a guess.
Yeah, and then now for the C9 Tafel versus POWERAPOLLO, the 7-year-old. I still find it amazing how this kid is 7 years old. How do you feel about this
the
matchup?
genius.
Yeah.
It's something straight out of the manga. You know, you have the established, well-respected player, and then you have the up-and-coming youngin who has repeatedly proven himself to be someone that has the potential to beat people, even way up in Ultra Plat. So definitely going to be a treat to watch. You know, Apollo, he has nothing to lose from this. You know, if he loses, he's going to learn a lot about how the top players play, and I mean, if he wins, then can you imagine?
Yeah, that would be amazing. Like with
the hype would only get even more hype.
Yeah, well, he's already beaten me multiple times, and I've seen videos of him beating multiple other players, ultra platinum players, a few times as well. So the talent is definitely there. But I think it'll be definitely a very tough. It's an uphill battle against C9 Tafo, though. Tafo is a really amazing player. I can give maybe Apollo a few wins here or there, but I'd have to hand it to Tafo on this one.
Same. It's hard to after playing against Tafo so many times in so many games. It's hard to imagine him kind of losing to anyone, but you know, especially to a younger player, even as skilled as Apollo is. So.
Yeah, exactly. And sorry, one thing I actually totally forgot to mention was these brackets were set up completely at random. I plugged in all the names into a generator, clicked the button, and it filled everything in. So none of these matchups are actually planned. Forgot to mention that. So now let's start revealing the right-hand side here. My first matchup. Oh my god, I can't believe this matchup. I like how
Right off the bat, you get arguably one of the most well-rounded and strongest players in the tournament. How do you feel, Mr. Ping?
I've been going to church a lot. I've been praying a lot, and hopefully I'm due for my miracle any day now. But
any day.
Any
special strats you're coming out with?
Well, the key thing for me right now is everybody knows I'm a Ken main, right? And so obviously he's still going to be my main guy, but I've been diversifying my skill sets quite a bit recently. Been practicing a lot with different teams, different setups, and hopefully I can kind of toss in a few little tricks here and there to maybe throw him off, but I highly doubt that's going to work.
Well, we're all rooting for you. We know how strong 171 is, but we can't bet against our favorite YouTuber Ping, so definitely going to be a match to see there.
Yeah, what's that song from Black Panther again? What's that new one called? What's that? Pray for Me? And so next up we have Denjin and General Tsuki. How do you feel about that one?
Oh man, you know, I've played probably hundreds of matches against Denjin. You know, some nights I would literally go on 10 lose streaks versus Denjin. So I acknowledge the skill that is there. Tsuki prides himself on being able to counter pick, being able to change it up so that he can play with an advantage. So I'm imagining Denjin sticking with Ken the whole set, while General Tsuki switching up to Blanca. But I know Denjin has a good strategy against Blanca now. So if Blanca doesn't work, he's probably going to try to switch to X. Then after that, Tsuki might try to switch to Hagar. Who knows? But I imagine just Denjin sticking with Ken, Tsuki trying to switch it up. But just basing it off of my experience with them, I know Tsuki gets a little bit more frustrated. Denjin keeps a cooler head most of the time. So psychologically, Denjin has the advantage there. And Tsuki, if his counter picks don't work, then he's really going to have to keep it together, or else he'll kind of self-destruct there. So that's my take on that matchup, and we'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah, actually, I couldn't agree with you more with your outlook on that matchup there. And honestly, I still can't believe that even if I do pull off the miracle against 171, I got to go up against the winner of that match. So I'm going to be playing that Black Panther album on the background the whole time I'll be playing this tournament. So let's see how that goes.
Oh yeah,
But so next up we have Cows and Phenomenon. Another OG player there in Cows, and Phenomenon, another amazing player. How do you feel about that one?
Hey man, I told this story on stream, but Cows is something, man. Last season I was sitting nice and pretty in 3rd place, and it was about 15 minutes left until the season ended, and then I see Cows kind of like online, and then just gaining points, and I'm thinking Cows still has 70 points to go before he catches up to me. So I kind of just chill. Put on some YouTube videos. I'm chilling. All of a sudden, I check again, and Cows has passed me up by 20 points. And I'm just thinking, what is going on? So then I hop in the last 5 minutes. I try to get some points back, but then I lose, and then I'm like, that's it. Cows took 3rd place from me. So Cows definitely has the skill, the drive, the tenacity, if you will. And over on Phenomenon, we know how exceptional his serve bot is. We know he ventured into playing Dante for a little bit. When he started Dante, oh my goodness, man. I think he took 3 games off of me in a row at one point. And I was just like, why can't I beat this guy? So from a skill perspective, both of them have what it takes. I can't wait to see the matchup. I can't wait to see the counter picks. We know Cow's diverse portfolio of characters that he can play. And I can't wait to see how Phenomenon kind of reacts to those diverse characters.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough pick between the two, but I think I'll give Cows a little bit of an edge there. I found that when he's on his game, he's like unstoppable. It's just sometimes he's a little bit inconsistent, but the times that he's on, he's just a beast. Like he could choose any character and just demolish me every single round. But
absolutely, and Phenomenon, he has a habit of kind of saying people are better than him as well. So sometimes he gets a little bit passive, but if he keeps up that mental fortitude and then plays to win, then Phenomenon has the means to get this win as well. So definitely a matchup to watch.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you there. He kind of underplays himself. He's kind of like a black sheep almost, where he doesn't really. Well, he's definitely very humble. Doesn't gloat about his wins. He keeps everybody else kind of like in check as well. But he's actually a really amazing player. Going over to the last matchup here, we got Lycee and TUPAY. Is it TUPAY? Like, is it like a toupee? Like, is that how you pronounce it? Like,
I guess. It's really into wigs.
But yeah, actually, I'm not too familiar with TUPAY. I haven't got a chance to play with him to play against him too much. Lycee is a very good E-Honda player, as far as I'm concerned. He gives me really a good run for my money anytime I match up with him. But TUPAY, I haven't really met up with him too many times. How do you feel about this matchup?
TUPAY is an aggressive player. He's an absolute beast. I see him in the mornings sometimes, way early in the mornings. TUPAY doesn't actually grind much more than his sushi boats allow, so him being 5th place overall right now with 78 points is completely absurd. I mean, that's just him playing, getting his sushi boats and winning when he plays. Last season, I know I was grinding points, he was just trying to get his sushi boats, and I kept beating him, but every win was very difficult. And then he messaged me after and he says, I'm just trying to get my boats. Ah, damn you. And I was like, uh-oh. I didn't know. I'm sorry. So now every time I see TUPAY early on in the morning, I stop playing. 1, because I don't want to deal with him. He's a very good player. And 2, I want him to get his boats. So it's in this matchup, we know that TUPAY plays a lot of Blanca, though. Lycee loves his Honda. And the matchup inherently goes in the favor of Honda. So TUPAY is going to have to switch it up. TUPAY is a known Hagar as well, though. And I have favorable matchups against Honda as Hagar. So we're going to have to see how Lycee adapts. We're going to have to see how TUPAY adapts. But they're both, as Denjin would say, fat HP people players.
Yeah, so I guess that's the list of the lineups of all the matches. So I have to ask you, just to end things off, who do you have as a favorite, aside from yourself, of course?
Oh, I cannot deny 171 strength. There was a night when I probably lost 15 straight games to him, and that's for me, that's something I haven't experienced. At least it'll go back and forth against other players, but 171, he just had my number that night. So my impression of him is very much there, is very much strong, very much present as a player. So I'm gonna have to say he has the slight edge in my mind. But other than that, Tafel, can never rule out Tafel. Tafel is a known professional in the Smash scene, in the Melee scene. He has the mental fortitude. He has the quick thinking. He has the nimble placement of his gems. So you can't count him out for anything.
Yeah, actually, that's my predictions exactly. I would have said player 171, and my prediction for the finals is probably going to be 171 versus C9 Tafo. It's unfortunate because that would mean I'd be knocked out in the first round, but I think that's what's actually going to be happening. Yeah.
Yeah, we drew short straws here. But yeah, no doubt, it's going to be a fun tournament for viewers to watch. These are the best of the best. We really have to thank you for putting this together, Ping. We know that you're not being compensated as much as you would like for this, but you're still coming out with the content for the community and trying to keep us together and encouraging these high-level plays. So, honestly, thank you for being such a leader and setting such an example for other people in the community, Ping.
Hey, well, I definitely thank you for taking the time and for all the kind words. It's actually been a pleasure. It's amazing how great of a community we have. Everyone's very cooperative. Everyone's competitive yet friendly at the same time. It makes for a very, very entertaining time. But yeah, I guess we'll close things off there unless you have anything else to say.
Thank you very much, Ping, for having me.
All right, thank you so much for being on the show. Have a good one, buddy. That, once again, everyone, was PeeDangg. I've included links to both his YouTube and his Twitch account below. I'm a huge fan of his Twitch account, because he's usually the first person to start streaming any new character releases. He even had members of the Capcom team watching his last stream when Devlot was released. And as for the tournament, you will start seeing the first wave of videos on March 26. Cheers, everyone!